Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a really empowering framework for raising kids, and it basically involves treating your role just like the chief executive officer of your family. Think about it for a second. What if you stopped viewing yourself just as a caregiver and actually started treating your role like the CEO of your household? We're talking complete with toddler performance reviews and, I don't know, board meetings over broccoli. Look, the core philosophy here is actually pretty straightforward. You can't just bark orders at your kids and expect great results. If you want to raise sensible citizens, you have to practically show them how to live. You need to act like a leader, and frankly, be the hero whose footsteps your child actually wants to follow. It's all about leading by visible example, rather than just issuing top-down directives from the corner office. So, to break this down, our family business plan has 4 main departments. Number 1, the Parental CEO mindset. Number 2, the Department of Health. Number 3, crisis management and resilience. And finally, number 4, building family company culture. Let's jump right in. All right, starting off with Section 1, the Parental CEO mindset. Let's be real, managing a household can be chaotic. But there is exactly one thing completely under your executive control, and that is your own health and fitness. The source material argues that when you prioritize being physically fit and leading a healthy lifestyle, you create this incredible ripple effect. That discipline naturally percolates down across all other areas of your life, and it really sets a baseline standard for your entire family. Moving right along to our second section, the Department of Health. Okay, let's face a somewhat harsh reality here. For a lot of us, eating is essentially an emotional crutch, right? Have a bad day at work? Grab a donut. Celebrating a huge win? Let's get pizza. Because of this, healthy eating habits absolutely must be consciously developed by the parent. And why is this so crucial? Well, because childhood eating habits typically continue right into adulthood. We literally are what we eat, and the dietary choices you model today will make or break your child's future overall well-being. You know, kids really don't respond to nagging. They respond to action. So instead of constantly yelling at them to drop the video game controller or get away from the TV, let them see you lifting weights or going out for a run. Your personal physical activity naturally inspires your children to embrace outdoor play, teamwork, and even a healthy competitive spirit. When you show them what it actually looks like to be active, they naturally want to follow suit. Now, here's a totally surprising fact from the source material. A lack of sleep is actually considered more dangerous to your well-being than a bad diet or skipping the gym entirely. It's literally the most critical factor in preventing mental and metabolic ailments. So, as the CEO, you've got to establish your own strict sleep routine first before you can ever expect your kids to put their phones away and get a good night's rest. Furthermore, as CEO, you've got to enforce strict executive substance control. That means no smoking, no consuming alcohol, and definitely no abusing drugs. But it's not just about setting rules. It's about resisting influence. If you succumb to adult peer pressure, whether that's vaping, excessive drinking, or just poor habits in general, you simply cannot expect your child to stand strong when they face peer pressure in the schoolyard. You absolutely have to walk the walk first. Which brings us to Section 3, crisis management and resilience. Because, honestly, nothing of worth comes easily, parents have to actively model delayed gratification. I mean, if great things were easy to achieve, everyone would have them. You need to demonstrate visibly exactly how to sacrifice a small comfort today so you can unlock a massive treasure chest of success tomorrow. It's about playing the long game. There's this great saying mentioned here: anybody can smile, care, and be loving when life is perfect and totally hunky-dory. But true executive leadership, that gets tested when the pressure is really on. Real leadership takes a massive amount of patience and restraint to keep a smile on your face and act as a pillar of strength for others when things inevitably go wrong. And when things do go sideways, remember, your children are watching you like hawks. Your emotional equilibrium during a tough time literally becomes the blueprint they are going to use to keep moving forward when their own lives get tough later on. Your display of calm strength today essentially becomes the survival story they'll rely on to navigate their own future hardships. All right, let's wrap things up with Section 4, building family company culture. We live in an era where we are constantly bombarded by screens telling us exactly what success, wealth, and beauty are supposed to look like. If that media preys on our adult insecurities, just imagine what it's doing to your kids. As the CEO, you have to be the ultimate shield. You've got to model high, independent self-esteem, avoid comparisons that just lead to dissatisfaction, appreciate your kids for exactly who they are, and demonstrate every single day that true self-worth comes from within, definitely not from a screen. Punctuality and an excellent work ethic serve as these amazing live demonstrations of task management. When you start work on time, return home on time, and never show up late to appointments, or at least, try not to hit snooze 5 times every morning, your children are taking notes. This visible efficiency directly inspires a child to be diligent in school right now and highly effective in their own career down the road. So, how exactly do we build this incredible foundation? Well, it starts with the absolute basics. Mastering small, seemingly boring tasks like folding a blanket or brushing your teeth properly requires consistent daily discipline. The source points out that talent seldom beats disciplined hard work. When you master those insignificant little things, it builds an unbreakable, lifelong mindset of commitment. Ultimately, the values you embrace become your child's self-image, meaning the CEO must model absolute integrity as the family brand. Good early habits really do create a lifelong identity. You must lead by being honest regardless of the consequences, showing absolute integrity in both your words and actions, keeping promises to yourself and to others, and taking full, no excuses accountability for every single decision you make. I'm going to leave you with this one final provocative question regarding the whole parental CEO philosophy. If your child's future is a mirror of your present habits, what are you reflecting today? Are the habits, the discipline, and the integrity you're modeling right now the exact traits you want your child reflecting tomorrow? It is a super powerful thought to leave you with as you step back into the most important executive role of your entire life. Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.